accurate. Basically, every time I drop down to a planet surface like I am... Okay.
Sir, after examining all data we currently
Excellent. 2 pieces of tech. This is the canine that she was going to tell me about before I cut her off, and said, yes, I know that already. I am prescient. Yeah, I didn't actually need to do that. I do need to go to I-27 on Rhea. There's another piece of... The other thing she talked about was communication center, which is interesting because the second time they talk about communication centers, and basically that sends you to Prometheus next, and then it sends you... There's a spot to go. That's a thing. And then it sends you to... Then it sends you from Prometheus, it sends you to Ares, which is required for a piece of tech. This piece of tech, as I referred to in my last video, is the subwarp hacks. It is a cheat. In-game justification for it is it's amplifying, I think, delta waves, alpha or delta waves, and then basically splastering the planet with them to try and pick up things of interest. In short, it's hacks. What it does is it will find... It's a scanner to determine where things are. And by things, I mean research and anomalies. That enables quite a bit of sequence breaking in the game. And it's a tech I like to get really early. Because if I find myself low on research, I can always go out and just pick some of them up. The distribution is pretty crazy. In the endgame score, every piece of research you have, every point of research you have during the game is worth, I think, an in-game point. So the bajillion things of research that Ugly Times 10, specifically geology, which is largely useless after a certain point in the game. It's very easy to get more geology than you will ever need. Oh, right, Sector H2. No, I haven't triggered that yet. I don't have all the triggers memorized. Yes, I'm a bad Alien Legacy player. Sorry, cat is being, I have a cat and he's begging for attention. Yeah. Getting the subwarp radio, which is that piece of tech, which I will go and research very shortly. Nope, not here yet. Excuse me, folks. Okay. Cat is being an utter pain when I'm trying to record, as he's usually wont to do. Yeah. Yeah, go find that mouse and play with that mouse. It tends to be cold up here, and there's an avenue for mice to get into my apartment, so they do now and then. We've caught and trapped quite a few. But, he's,
The data we
there we
recovered
go.
from Dr. Anton
QED,
Sikorsky's
turn on the light, and you
computer
will
would
see.
indicate that he was working on something called transcendental radiation. The most intriguing note he left is one that reads, "Turn on the light and you will see."
Yeah, that makes no sense whatsoever. I can invent it right now, so I'm going to. Anyway, this turn counter goes up 1 point for every time you go down to a planet. Huh? Oh, you might have found something. I don't know. It's a cat. Yes, he has... Nope, he has not found a mouse. He is playing with his Frankenrat. Okay. Cat, you got my hopes up. How dare you? Yeah. Anyway. Hermes 1. Oh, jeez, where was I? Oh, right. Very important. Orbiting Prometheus. Let's see here. 4. Should be where I need to be at Prometheus. Got it. In 1. So... I don't know why. I always scan for it just before it's like, oh, right, it's right there. Yeah, that's nice. Oh, yeah. Come on. Don't. I got stuff to do. Got places to go, places to be. There's some tech. Gamma rays, don't care. Unload. Okay, what the robot is telling me is he found an ATV at I0. Or something at I0. I don't care. I know where this leads. So we're gonna unload. B10. There we go. The G17 buildings, I think, bounces you to like 3 or 4 different planets, and either culminates at I-26. Sleeve. Colony manager. Alright, I have a PDA. Complete this roar. Certain of animated meat. I0 research lab, which I have. Sector 13. So, colony manager, vehicle manager, orbiting Rhea. If you don't have a space site in orbit, and yet you want to go across a large planet, this is largely really useful on Rhea because Rhea is huge. Oops. There we go. More vehicle. You can send the ship to orbit and then send it back down to the planet. Takes a little longer in person time, but it does not waste energy. Other things is try not to build more colonies than you need. Because of the way the game is designed, it places items in the first available slot for a colony. There's about 120, probably around 127 colony slots available. Surprise, surprise. Just so you can have only 127 vehicles as well in the game. For similar reasons. Just programmers put limits in there because that's what they had to do when they were coding it. It's honestly, if you have more than 100, if you have 127 vehicles, you're playing for points, or you just had nothing better to do. Most of the times when I had it without cheating, because I've done it, is I had factories building. I had a factory building at a colony for like almost the entire game. I used to basically just devote a colony to vehicle building very early on. As long as the tech of your vehicles and your tech, and if you get a lot of building done before you get the vehicle upgrades, the vehicles are relatively inexpensive. The vehicles get more expensive the higher the vehicle tech is. However, the higher your factory tech is, the cheaper it becomes. Well, up to a point. So a level 1 and a level 1 is balanced. Building a level 7 vehicle at a level 1 factory is really expensive and it takes forever. So, however, all your vehicles are automatically upgraded whenever you get a new vehicle technology. Your buildings aren't, so that's that. But as long as your vehicle ends up at a factory, not a factory, but a colony of yours, it will automatically be upgraded and refit, which is great. So if you build all the if you build everything at the really cheap, build all your ships very cheap, then you can basically ride the free upgrades all the way to the end of the game. So if you can get 30 to 50 ships, honestly 30 to 50s, you need at least 20 minimum to finish the game, because there is a thing you have to do, but there's a research project at the end of the game you have to complete in order to complete it. but since the SS Coronis is a bit buggy. There's a couple space sites that are buggy with regards to the mass driver. Mass driver is a interesting and hideously imbalanced way of sending ore from one colony to another. It's about as fast as sending. It's a little faster than sending ships, especially from far-flung areas. Problem is that
I have completed the routine scan of Prometheus.
That's nice. Colony manager. Transport. One of the tricks I often tend to pull is that when I have quite often in the game